first in the track.
Boom shakalaka!
Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. We got a little market going on here today, guys. A little pullback on a critical level that we're watching. It's the value area low right there, getting a little rejection off of it. Did reject off the golden pocket yesterday. We talked about that. I do think we're going to head down to this lower band of the platinum pocket, the 887, coming in at about 113.330. Going to keep an eye on that today during the live stream. But also, we're going to talk about the housing report that just came out and why, if you are trying to buy a house, you might be better off buying Bitcoin right now. We're going to take a look at that. Bitcoin, it fixes, if you can't afford a house, Bitcoin fixes that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at this data that just came out and talk about the markets overall, just see how they're looking, guys. Go ahead and take your seats. Let's do this. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Good morning and welcome, alumni, to the Morning Market Report. Appreciate everyone being here today. Let's go ahead and bring this down. Yep, there we go. And let's bring this chart up here. Let's talk about it. So yeah, we're watching this chart here, guys. We are getting a little bit of resistance on the value area low. As I was saying, you can see that the oscillator showing a little bit of consolidation there. Also getting a little wave going on right there on the chart. Right there. There you go. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to also take a look at the crypto bubbles today. They're a little red. They're a little red, I won't lie. Let me see. That does not change it. We'll jump over to that in a second. But we're waiting on OC guy to come in. He is running a little bit late today, so shout out to OC guy. He had a computer issue. Go figure. It happens, right? Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the chat right now. We got Chris Wrights in here. He said, good morning, brother. Dylan VA. Darren does things. Ayo, lurking today. Brakoshi No Dinero. Lunar Beaches. LBC. Guys, I think we're going to do that fundraiser for LBC. I think we're going to do it next Wednesday. What is next Wednesday's date? Let me take a look here. I think we're going to do that fundraiser for him. If you guys don't know what it is, we're going to set up that all of the super chats that day are going to go to LBC. That date next week will be the 27th. So that day will be all super chats. That day will go to LBC. And then Piper Academy is also going to donate $500 to that poll. And also, BC Port Corp said he would throw 100 on top of that. So 600 plus 70% of all of the super chats, guys. If you want to have a QR code, let me know in the chat. I will do a QR code if you guys want the 100% to go to him instead of Google taking 30%. Let me know. But yeah, that's for Lunar Beaches. If you guys don't know why, he's got a baby coming, and babies ain't cheap, and inflation on diapers is a thing. So yeah, we're going to take care of LBC, guys. That's what we do. We take care of family. So found out last night, for those that don't know, I need to take care of myself too. I was at the hospital last night, did not get to make the steak dinner for my son, went in to go do it. And right before I went in there, had a huge pain in my upper left shoulder, started sweating profusely, got cold, got nauseous, got super dizzy, thought I was having a heart attack, went to the hospital, and yeah, it was something else. It was not that. My heart was fine. All of my blood tests came back great. Heart rate and blood pressure, everything was good. But yeah, it was and evidently I haven't had one in a while. I take medication for it because, TBI and PTSD. It was a vertigo induced panic attack. So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself, guys. That's the moral of today's story. Take care of yourself. How do you do that? You spend time and make it count, right? And do things. Lost fart. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to all the people in chat. Lunar Beaches, Crypto, DB, Cooper, Crypto Princess. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We will be redirecting over to Crypto Princess this morning. She's got a live show starting, or a premiere starting at 10:35 Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to try to get this done and get that over to her. Bingo Bango, Trade Intuitions in here. Might play Average Crypto Joe. I got an answer for you, Crypto Joe, on your question about arrows. So we're going to look at that. And then Ninja Glock and Donato Cabrera in the house. BC Port Corp, I see you there, bro. Who else? Anybody else in here that I missed? JR, I see you. Appreciate you, brother. Crypto Coin Mindset, Keith, with the good morning. And Munchies, good to hear. But damn, yeah. It was pretty scary. My wife was like, let's go to the hospital. RS Miller, see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Glad you're feeling better. I am too. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. But you know who I'm glad to be feeling good about? My co-host that just showed up. Let's go ahead and jump over there. The OC guy. What's up, bro? How you doing today, man?
Little worried, man. I just heard that something happened. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah. I had to go to the hospital last night. Go back and watch the front run of the show, man. I had to go to the hospital last night. Was not thought I was having a heart attack. It was a little scary, if you will. So yeah, did not know what was going on. But yeah, guys, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. That is the moral of today's story. OC, let's go ahead and jump over into the. Well, first of all, let's make sure the duo chat's set up. Yes, it is. Look at that. It is working. Let's go ahead and jump over into the OC charts. And what's going on with Bitcoin right now? Because we are getting a little rejection right now off of the value area low. But what's the current status? Can we get a stat check on Bitcoin on aisle 7? Thanks. Appreciate it, OC. What do you got for us, bro?
Let's do it. All right, so let's go to the little spaghetti that we had here. And something that really played out yesterday was the area that we were looking for to short. And well, there we go. It actually hit that very top. Remember that I usually set my alerts a little bit higher, but in this case, I set it right on the entry point. And just so you know, when it hit, I wasn't able to catch it exactly like that. So it drifted a little bit. So I was something around this area right here. Still played out very nicely. We're still on the downtrend. Let me just clear up this a little spaghetti that we have going on in here, so we know we have a better perspective of what's going on. All right, let me zoom out, and here it is. We're still within the same areas than yesterday. All right, so we have breakout coming back up, trying to do that bounce. We failed completely. Coming back down, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest and continuation. Something that I kind of like don't like for the downtrend, it is that we're having something like a double bottom. All right, nothing serious so far, so don't jump into a long at this point. And that is because look at that secondary candle, it's going back down to the entry point, or at least where we are, or where we left out then. All right, there is another big area of support right here that you can see based on my volume profile bar magnifier order block. Oh, what a mouthful. Indicator. And this is my secret when we're talking about fully knife strategies. All right, so important. I'm just gonna let run this current trade. All right, so I will be moving my stop to entry because I haven't done that. That is because of the time of we have, there we go, my full body candle, and I should have moved into the entry. As you can see, it was at 22 hours. I was paying taxes yesterday and heading to the gym. So, yeah, not hashtag MVP, but
Emotional damage.
and wallet damage also. But well, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? But absolutely. So let's go ahead and well, I'm gonna be trying to keep this alive, and I'm gonna be moving my stop to entry as soon as possible as we jump into into a transmission exchange here as I open up my broker. So this is the current setup that I think that we're gonna be having, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest and further continuation, at least to somewhere between 113 and let's call it around 110. And what is that? Well, that is because we are at the bottom of the ranging here. Let me just turn this off. And let me correct myself. It's not that we are at the bottom of the range, but we have broken back into the range, which opens up the possibilities to hit the bottom of the range. So those possibilities get really, really high, right? So let me just go and show you something that played out like that. Well, which was this one in here, right? So go up, go down, go up, go down, and so far. So So good. And when we start breaking back inside those areas, well, we hit once again the bottom of that range. So far, so good. Targets to be considered. Let me turn those on. So first target will be somewhere around 113,748. Next target 112,721. And final target I'll be looking at 110. And then, well, if we fail that, then I will be looking into these areas right here at 100K, which they are not out of the question at this point. They're just going in, becoming a little more possible as we move lower. But so far, don't worry about those. Just keep them in the back of your head. But at this point, looking for the next upcoming targets for reversals. So that's what I think that we are.
Awesome. And we're going to be jumping in a little bit deeper into that Bitcoin chart here in just a minute. Also going over some altcoins. I had a request today to look at Arrow OC. So if you want to get that chart ready, and then I got an article about it also. But I just dropped a poll here in the chat, guys. Looking at that poll, do you rent, own, or live with your parents? I'm just curious what the demographic is here for people. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that topic here about homes and home prices. Today we got some economic data report this morning. So you live with your mama. Sugar mamas don't count as parents, BC. Sugar mamas don't count as parents. Let's go ahead and jump over to the news here and see what we got going on. Guys, jumping in on the news today, we are looking at the crypto risk indicators. And I want to point out, because Baba Yaz always asks, that's Bedredden, if you don't know, he's always asking about the social metric. I looked this morning, guys, and the social metric was gone. I was like, what the hell is going on? All right. Why is it like that? It's because the social metric is sitting at 0. That means either Into the Cryptoverse has stopped calculating the metric of the social media talking about crypto, or no one is talking about social media or about crypto on social media. And so it makes me wonder, is that because of either he's not doing it anymore and it's just not relevant, or is it not happening because people aren't doing it? All because you've got marketing going on now by things like BlackRock through their funds managers and stuff. I don't know, investment managers. It's curious. It's interesting that it's at 0 right now. So I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'll try to find that out. But yeah, not sure. Let's go down here and look at the crypto market cap today, guys. Sitting at $3.89 trillion. Trend on this is sitting at $4.227 trillion. Currently undervalued about 7.96%. So moving away. We were almost at fair valuation on price of the crypto market cap, and now it is starting to pull away. Almost another rejection again on that median line. Looking at the Bitcoin risk today, 54.7%. We are seeing a pullback. Still a 2x DCA, but might be heading into those lower bands where it's a 3 times your DCA amount. We'll be keeping an eye on that, and watch Mondays when we drop it in our Discord for the DCA Piper plan. Looking at Bitcoin dominance right now with stable coins included is sitting at 59%. Take away their stable coins, we're sitting at 63.28, breaking away above that 4% mark, guys. So we are seeing that Bitcoin is moving a lot of sell-off into stable coins, not so much into alts, although some of the alts are doing pretty decent. Shout out to Cardano. Shout out to 8ace. He's probably pretty happy right now. Looking at X marks the spot today, guys. Fear and Greed Index for Bitcoin sitting at 56 right now, as of 46 minutes ago. In greed still, just on the threshold there of crossing into neutral. Looking at the Ethereum Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 57 today, also sitting in greed. And I want to talk about this. Just in ARK 21 shares, that is that's ARK Investments there. They sold 559.85 Bitcoin worth 64.4 million. And the reason that I wanted to bring this up, because Digital Asset News, my buddy Rob down there in El Paso, shout out to him. He said, I've got no problem with people taking profits. I agree 100%. Take some profits, right? Just remember this, when everyone's telling you to diamond hands, even the people that are the most bullish sell. I don't make the rules. It's just how it is. And that's why we have Diamond Brains in the chat, because sometimes Diamond Brains will trump Diamond hands all day, every day. Where is Diamond Brains? Oh, we don't even have Diamond Brains in there anymore. I guess we'll do Diamond Bitcoin. I had to take it out because I added LBC's thing in there. So LBC was more important than Diamond Brain, I guess. Oh well. So yeah, that's what we're seeing there, guys. Let's look over here. Let's look over here at the Ethereum, the liquidations here. A lot of Ethereum trades, longs getting liquidated there. That's what that means when it's green, guys. I do have half a pig a year. Oh, he's talking. BC's talking about our pigs taste the same. And all I don't know. You guys are talking about some weird shit in the chat, man. The past 24 hours, 97,999 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $291.11 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was for Ethereum, $5 million on a single trade. Let's look at the stock market, see how the TradFi is looking today. Refresh this. Is that fresh? Is that new? I think it is. I think I'm good there. Yep. U.S. market right now. Dow Jones up about 0.5%. S&P. That's on. By the way, that's on Home Depot. Home Depot kicking off big retail sales earnings. Earnings calls are coming in today on a lot of these companies. Home Depot just did theirs and they made some money because people are working on fixing up the house because they know that they will not be able to buy one probably. And on top of that, if they are going to put it on the market, it really needs to stand out because the market is saturated with homes that are available. Everyone trying to sell, no one really looking to buy. So they got to put a lot of money into a Home Depot, getting that rally into the Dow Jones of 0.5% today. S&P almost flat, about 0.06, was red most of the morning. NASDAQ sitting down on the downside. The tech sector down 0.4% today. Russell 2K about flat. And the VIX in the red, below 15, and it is very weak today. Europe markets overnight were all green. Asia markets were mixed with the Nifty 50 being green. Everything else, Shanghai, Nikkei, all that, were in the red overnight. Looking at the bonds, 10-year yield hit 4.31%, starting to drop now a little bit to the downside. I don't think it's going to go too low. This 10-year yield just doesn't seem to want to drop, and that is the big problem. That 10-year yield is the big problem on these houses not being sold because the 10-year yield is what they base the mortgage rate on, and the mortgage rates just are not low enough for a lot of people to buy. Looking at oil right now in the gas sector, all in the red today. Sell-off city going on there. Oil at 62.65, natural gas 2.75. Looking at gold, it's making a rally again, only up slightly. It's kind of flat, 0.07, but it is holding at $3,300 level, about to hit 3,400 again. Silver's at 37.95, down slightly. Copper down about 0.6%, and platinum and palladium both to the upside. Platinum in the lead today, up 0.88%. That is what we got there on the TradFi side. Let's look at these crypto bubbles and talk about that. Bitcoin, it's at $114,658 right now. It is down 0.6% on the daily. Ethereum doubled that, down about 1.2. XRP just slightly down on the daily, 0.1%. Any big movers, though? Let's take a look here. Cardano moving up another spot on the market cap to number 8. It is up 1% on the daily still, despite a 0.7% pullback in the past hour. It's over 90 cents, closing in on that dollar mark. Shout out to Ada Ace again. Dude, you're crushing it there. Chainlink, breaking my heart. Down 3.6% today at $24.43. Far off from $800. If you know, you know. Solo Image is down 1.3. Hedera, H-Bar down 2%. Avalanche is down 2.6. And rounding out the top 20 is Litecoin, giving up that 19th spot to Leo Token. It has moved into the 20th spot and is down 2.6% today. Let's go into talk about the altcoin season index. Are we there? Nope, we're still at 51, guys. Altcoin season index and not even up to that 75, close to it yet at all. So keep an eye on this. It is not alt season. Everyone is saying it's alt season. Calm down. It's not alt season. Just because a couple of alts move does not make an alt season, does it not? It does not. So, guys, not alt season. Calm down. We need that thing to be close to 71 before we can even talk about, is this alt season? Get out of here. Guys, bull market peak indicators. Are we at the top? Nope. These indicators say, all 30 of them say no. So we'll just keep an eye on those. We're currently still at that 97% say hold on the indicators. Here's let's talk about this building permits and housing starts, guys. So let's set this up. You have houses. Everyone wants to upgrade. They can't afford to upgrade. They got to sell their house if they're going to upgrade and get a bigger house or downsize, whatever their case may be. They go to look at these houses. Hey, this house has been pre owned. They're locked in at a 2.8%. They're not going to sell their house. This one, they're like, let's test it. Let's run the theory. Let's put it on the market. Maybe someone that really needs a house to pay if we price it right, right? So they're having to put their house on the market. Someone's going to come look at it. They're going to, beautiful house. What's the mortgage rate? Oh, it's 7.5%. That is going to be way too expensive. How much is the house? It's had a very big increase since they bought it in 2019, and it's up a lot. And so they're asking a lot for it. And you're like, I can't afford that price that you're asking, plus this mortgage rate. What am I going to do? And then you end up dropping the price on your house several times, and that gets down, right? And then finally, you find a price level that matches where they can afford that house, right? Or you get the housing starts, and all of these new home builders are pumping out houses. Guys, it was at 1.358 million. It was actually a revision from 1.32, so it actually went up last month. It was expected to drop to 1.29 million, meaning that home builders were slowing down. No, it pumped up to 1.428 million. This means that new homes are now being flooded into the market. Add this to all the houses that people are trying to sell. What does this mean? It means that people are probably going to buy these brand new houses over previously owned houses. And here's the reason why: because they buy in mass amounts all of their mortgage. So they buy like $50 million worth of mortgages, right? And so they can control and give out a little bit better rates. They can knock off prices. For example, if you buy a new home, they might have perks and benefits. Well, they give you this package for free and that package for free and this upgrade for free. That is all equity the day you buy your house. So if they put $75,000 worth of upgrades into your home and didn't charge you for them, yeah, they knocked $75,000 off that price of the house that you really wanted, and you have $75,000 worth of stuff that you didn't have to pay for, meaning you automatically have an equity amount in your home when you buy it. So, new homes are absolutely crushing existing homes on sales right now, and that is the reason for it. So, how do you get to buy all of this? Let's go over and jump onto OC's chart, and we'll talk about our OC screen, and we'll talk about this here. OC, um, this seems to be a problem across the United States right now. Is the whole thing of being able to afford a home? Let's go take a look at that poll, because that was an interesting poll that I put up there. I'm just curious to see here. Let's see. 31% say they rent, 62% own their homes. And I guarantee you the people that own their homes are probably not trying to sell right now because they don't want to get rid of their lower mortgage rate. I'm sure that's the case. Put a one in the chat if that's the case for you. So how do you upgrade? How do you get that new home? How do you get into that bigger house? Fighting words right there. You guys are just having a crazy conversation over here besides the show. How do we get into those bigger homes and stuff, OC? I think the answer is Bitcoin. And I have a personal example of that. I was in a house with a really good rate. And mind you, I got a really good rate on this house too. But to be fair, I went from a house that I paid $300,000 for before to a house that's $774,000. And I had to have a lot of cash for that. How did I get that cash? It was Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin at the bottom, sold it at the top, and took that money and put it into a house, right? So I went from one
And
hard at
I got a
set to
question.
another.
And what
Yeah.
about Trump coin?
Trump coin paid off a car. Bitcoin paid for the down payment on a house. So I want to show you guys this video because it's pretty interesting on the valuation of crypto and how it's hanging in there. Let's jump over here to this. And let's bring this guy up here and let's talk
Bitcoin
about
is repricing all to their utility value. Bitcoin is repricing all of those to their utility value, and or the marginal cost of production. Everything on the planet. This house was $1.4 million 4 years ago. Now it's $2.1 million Canadian pieces of paper. In Bitcoin, it was 300 Bitcoin 4 years ago. Now it's 22 Bitcoin. In 4 years, this house will be 2 Bitcoin. All Bitcoiners are facing the same choice. When do I want to buy this asset? Because a lot of the Bitcoiners want to buy a house. So they can't wait to spend their Bitcoin on a house. In 10 years, this house might be 0.1 of a Bitcoin. As Bitcoin is repricing this into the house to its utility value, I can make a choice anytime to be able to use my Bitcoin to be able to price my house. If I price it today, what I'm really paying for is a way overpriced house because people see it as a store of value. And it's a really bad store of value compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is repriced.
Now, I will counter that in a second. But what he's talking about is he bought this house at $1.4 million 4 years ago. Now it's $2.1 million. So the house went up $1 million. Okay, it was 300 Bitcoin 4 years ago, though, and now the value of his house is 22 Bitcoin. In 4 years, this house will be 2 Bitcoin. It's a really bad store of value compared to Bitcoin, and that is true. However, Bitcoin doesn't give you a place to live. And so when you're looking at, you can get that advantage above the rental side and get into the house that is newer, that is going to give you a place to sleep. It is an asset with a utility. And I think that Bitcoin gets you there much quicker. So if you guys are looking at buying houses and you can't quite afford the house you want, hold off. Buy Bitcoin, buy the bottoms. That's what we do here. We bought the bottom on Bitcoin at the bottom of the bear market in 2022. We sold off in March before a 50% dump. We bought back in July at the bottom of that pullback. We also sold off in January before we had a 30% pullback, and we started buying back in April. Guys, we keep catching bottoms here, and we've got the indicators for it, and we've got the community for it. So if that is your goal, that is your goal, you will get yourself set up to get that house eventually. And then at that point, you never have to sell your Bitcoin again. If you need to do anything else, you can just take a loan against your equity on your home or the equity on your Bitcoin. And that does not have any taxable events. So that's the positioning that I am trying to make, is not have to pay taxes on using the equity of my assets, Bitcoin and or house, or you can be Piper and sell. I sold my my Bitcoin for another asset, Buck. It's okay. And I also don't like 30% pullbacks because they break my soul. Let's go finish talking about the news that I got over here, OC. How are we looking on the side of the rate cuts? How are we looking on that? Let's go jump over there. Looking at the rate cuts, guys, right now we are sitting at an 85.1% chance of a rate cut in September, 14.9, almost 15% chance of no rate cut coming. That is for September. October, of course, we are at 93% chance now, still a 7% chance in October that we don't see a rate cut. That is coming off of that sticky inflation, as they call it. Bitcoin liquidations, max paying for longs and shorts right now, $119,944 is the max paying if you're in a short. Price could be heading there. It's 4.75% away, but I think it's more likely that we head down to 113,962. That's going to be the max paying for longs. And that is at one. That's going to be about $168 million worth of liquidation down there. We're only about 0.5% away on that one, guys. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, let's just bring OC up here and we'll talk about this. So why the rally on Wall Street could be running out of steam, and this is on CNBC, OC, talking about the stock markets here. The stock market run to all-time highs after a dreadful spring sell-off has many of the street feeling good about equities. Others, though, are taking a darker view. Everyone is not as optimistic. RBC's Lori Calvasina, for example, thinks further gains may be harder to come by in the stock market. We continue to think the summer rally in the S&P 500 has generally made sense from a sentiment perspective, but it's also starting to run out of room from that angle. Calvasina highlighted that the current rebound began more than 90 trading days ago. Note that the rebounds of 2010, 2011, 2016, and 2022 all lost momentum around this point in time. As of August 15th, the 2025 rebound has been most closely correlated. Line, please. Correlated with the rebound off of the December 2018 low. Now is right around that where that rebound took a breather with a 7% drawdown between April and early June of 2019. And plus, we got those other things that are plaguing the markets as well: high valuation, massive concentration, just a few mega caps making up the the breadth of the NASDAQ valuation total. And mindful of this valuation pressure, along with the tendencies of September and October to be tough months for the S&P in recent years, the sudden deterioration in the American Association of Individual Investors net bullishness, we remain on guard for choppy conditions for the balance of the year. OC, do you think that we get this July, August green month, September pullback, or is this pullback for real in August, and then we get a pump in September? What's your thoughts on this? Because to put it in fair terms, for those that don't know, before he answers this question, I do want to give him a little taste of what I'm talking about here. We've never had a green July, red August, red September ever. Oh wait, we did. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Nope. It's either green or it's red or it's green and green with the red in the middle. So are we going to see this whole thing turn in here where we get green? This breaks into slightly green and then red, it goes red, or is this going to continue down lower and we see something like last year at 8.6, but then we get this big rally back in September? Your thoughts on this, OC? I'd like put it in there. Drop your 2 pesos, sir.
I think we're gonna follow the same pattern, and then that is a little bit tricky. And also, by the way, 2019 for the guys that just came here and are not really informed or haven't been tracking, it is not the same year that we're looking into, right? So because we did have a 3 red months, which was 2019. But it's not the same month after having that we've been talking about. So just to make
Correct.
sure that you're understanding that, right?
Yep.
So we're measuring after having this month. So the point is, I think that we're going to be following the same pattern. And here's the thing, there could be small difference between closing green and closing red, right? I mean, if we're neutral and then we are back at the price of where we started, we could actually be just closing green in $2, right? Or closing green in way better condition. I think we're going to be following pattern. I think this upcoming month is going to be red, and then we're going to be having a green October, and that is because well, we might be seeing something not really playing out, which is going to be retiring money or saving money for December. I think December is going to be that day where people are either going to be really extracting some money for gifts, or November we're going to be seeing people starting to extract some money for gifts. In December we might be seeing a red December. If I'm trying to push it a little bit higher or farther there, but other than that, I think we're going to follow right between in the average zone. Why so far I haven't seen anything like outstanding, and I think it's not gonna happen until either late December or January, where, and I wish that I'll be wrong on red December.
I think that you might be right, sadly. But there's a chance. We've shown it, the swing fail pattern this week. We talked about the weekly swing fail pattern. There's a chance that we could easily be heading down to that $100,000 range. Matter of fact, right now, looking at the chart, I said I thought we were going to be heading down to 113,330 this morning when we started the show. There's your rejection on that value area low, and we are absolutely breaking through that 786 and heading down to that 887 there, 113,330. If we lose that, guys, then we're looking at coming down for a double bottom here on this cluster, and that's at 111,903. What if we lose that one, OC? What are we looking at then? What are we looking at then?
Well,
that would be 107, 108. So these numbers. I know they keep getting lower, but that's what price action keeps doing also. So we'll have to see. OC, let's go ahead and kick it over to you. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins, and then I got this Arrow article. Let me know before you do that chart, so I can, unless you've already got that one ready to go. Because if you do, then I can go ahead and talk about this article here. Yeah, you got it ready?
yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about Arrow. We had a request from who was it? Somebody asked about Arrow this morning. I think maybe it was Crypto Joe, Average Crypto Joe. That's it. Arrow price rises after key base news. Here, Arrow price jumped after Base blockchain launched TBA, which will replace the Coinbase wallet. If you guys have Coinbase, you know that they were telling you get your shit off the wallet, people. And then if you did, you also got Coinbase One for 2 months for free. So that was kind of cool. Coinbase hopes that TBA will help to make take these applications mainstream and simplify how people access them. As such, Aerodrome Finance is likely to become a more popular application, thereby increasing its volumes and fees. Aerodrome price technical analysis here. Aerodrome's total value locked has soared to over $595 million. It's the highest level since February and much higher than a year-to-date low of $434 million. The TVL is significantly higher than that of other popular coins such as Algorand and Cardano. The daily chart shows the Arrow price bottomed at 27 cents in April and then rebounded to nearly $1. It formed an ascending channel and is nearing its upper side of that channel there. Okay. Arrow has moved above the 50-day and the 100-day exponential moving averages, the EMAs, into 23.6% retracement at 76.2 cents. Further, the relative strength index, the RSI, has moved closer to the overbought level. Therefore, the token will likely continue to rise as bulls target the 50% retracement point at $1.30. This target is about 40% above the current level. Price drop below the support at 76 would invalidate any bullish Arrow forecast. OC, let's go ahead and jump over to your chart and let's see what Arrow is telling us. And is that feasible? Is that $1.30 Arrow something that we have to keep in mind as a target, or is Bitcoin going to pull everything down with it and just forget about it? What's your
All
thoughts,
right,
bro?
so let's take a look at. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me first tackle something really quickly, which is hitting the 100K. I mean, we could absolutely come back all the way right down. Here's the same area that you were talking about, and then on the upcoming month, because we still have more than a little less than 15 days. We can do a quick swipe and then open up the new month in here and closing the new month in here or there, and that's how we could be having that red month right now and then the green month upcoming. But yeah, I mean, everything is possible at this point, and well, we're gonna be looking into that as we go. All right, so talking about Aerodrome, let me bring up the first thing that I see, which is a rounded topic here. And rounded top is just look at that, a series around 2 3 tops, making a little bit of a rounded shape at the top, right? I believe this one actually plays exactly what we're looking into. Look at that, 1 2 3, and then we start decreasing. We have started decreasing shape. There you go, 1 2 3, and then we started having that decreasing shape. So we can see that rounded top right here, right there, or somewhere around there. I don't know. It did not play out as what I was expecting in that one. There we go. So they don't know what the F they're doing. And that is not a good this is not a good pattern. That is because it shows it is a reversal pattern. Another important thing that I could be looking into are these trend lines in here that point at a wedge, right? Or a rising triangle. So what's going on with that? We already have our breakout, we have our pullback, our retest, and continuation. So I believe that we could be heading to the dynamic reactor, which is the most important support so far, at 1.41. Let's start to turn on our indicators in here to see if we have something in the meantime, and we do. We have a support right here around these areas at 122, and another one right here on the dynamic reactor. This is important because as we come back down, this support may not be as strong as your dynamic reactor, or just as we come back down and hit the support, well, we're gonna be having a counteraction, not to really maybe just take us to the sky, but instead of that, just dropping the price action speed and then letting this area of confidence do their actual job, and then create something like an inverted head and shoulders, maybe a swing failure pattern, and go and so forth and so on. If you notice, my dyslexia actually kicked in, and I confused like 4 words in a row. That was amazing, new record there. All right. So looking into our predictive ranges in here, we also have a very nice predictive range all the way down here, and we're losing the gray one right there. And by the way, we have an alert on AVAX. We'll see that in a second. And coming forward, there you go to my right, areas of entry with smart money areas of entry. There we go. We have one right down here. And I don't quite see another one. Well, I do, which is one here, right down there, and this other two ones right there. So, oh, come on, let me draw on top of it. All right, perfect. Another two ones in here. But as you can see, these two ones that we're seeing right here, they're already being falling, and they did their job, which was just break out, retest, bounce it, not strong enough, breaking through. So the next area of confluence, it's pretty clear, starting at 118 and ending up at 1.1. So I think that will be the best area for a possible reentry at this box in here. So that's what I got on Hero.
Awesome. Hey, if you what other altcoins do you have, OC? Because we're going to head out and go over to Crypto Prince's show. It started about 10 minutes ago. So go ahead and wrap up your alts that you're watching right now, and then we'll wrap up the show and head over there and go visit the princess, Her Royal Highness. So what else you got for us, OC?
Absolutely. So let's go for over my alerts because we have some hits and then we have some reentries and of course we have some gains. So let's take a look at first TAO. TAO, we had a hit in here yesterday, which was this half of an entry that we did right there. It went down, kick us out right. Look at that in the balls right there. Holy balls. With a week, it wick us out. That's fine. And then remember, we have a half of an entry this point and half of an entry right down there. So we are following that pattern. If you take a look at also TAO, our alert was at 348. So 348, that is our first half of an entry. So we should be already into a long here, half of an entry, and then going for another half of an entry right here at 330. And that is because I believe that we could be going like this and then retracing. If we do that, move your stop to entry, take your profits 50% out and let it run. And then we're still gonna have a valid entry right down here, especially because we have this huge order block right down there. AVAX, all right. So AVAX just hit an alert right now. In that alert, it is at 2271, right where we are at this point. And that is because we have our secondary entry right there. All right. So at this point, this means we have averaged down our entry right here. All right. So that was a quarter of an entry. And we should be having, let me control C, average in our entry average down. Let me just see if I can grab it. Come on. I see why not. I see why I couldn't. 1 second. And here is, we should be having our average entry somewhere around here, but we're still pretty close to getting stopped out. That is fine. Remember, we were looking for our first entry right here at a very dangerous trade, which was right there. By the way, this should be another entry. I don't know what I'm stretching this one. And this one played out, even taking the second area right here. So we did jump back into a trade. I do remember, I don't know what is not marked, but let's mark it. Let's clone it. And we should be right here, going for our secondary entry right down there and aiming to have a rebound. So far so good. So let's keep a track on how that it's playing out. And finally, let's go to Toncoin. Toncoin, we have a short. We kept that open. And well, remember at this point we were looking for a re-entry right around our, there we go, our support right here. Toncoin played out at 348. This is a 348 was the first one, and then our secondary one was 325, if I'm not mistaken. 325. Here it is. All right, perfect. So we have our first entry here, a quarter of an entry right there, and we'll see if we can bounce out of that zone. We already have our possible reversal, flip with the ribbon, and overbought. So if we're able to manage just now this entry here or this next movement, I think we'll be doing all right. And remember, we still have another area of entry at 17. So out of this one, there is a 2/4 for an entry, and we have jumped into the first one right there. All right. So other than that, that's what I got, Piper. Let me throw it back to you.
Awesome. Let's go head over to Crypto Princess, guys. But just a reminder, next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, we're going to be doing a live stream here on the morning show and all super chats that day. I'm trying to try to have a QR code. I'm going to put it like right here. We're going to cover up our legendary aviation coffee. There'll be a QR code if you guys want to do just like a Cash App or something for LBC, for Lunar Beaches Crypto. We're going to try to get some money raised up for his baby that's on the way because givers gain. That's why. You know how we do it. So, yeah, that's going to be next Wednesday, though, guys. Appreciate y'all joining us here. OC is going to be live this evening, hopefully. We'll see.
Yes.
With Trade Live with OC right here on the Piper Academy Network. And then tomorrow morning, BC Port Corp kicking it all off with Good Morning Crypto. Get your pre-market coffee and pre-market updates with the BC Port Corp right here on the Piper Academy Network. We'll be back at 10 a.m. To give you guys the news, the charts, the markets, the headlines, everything you need to know. What's going on tomorrow and the data FOMC minutes. That's going to be tomorrow afternoon. So we'll talk about if there's any pre-foresighting what's going on with there. But yeah, right now, guys, it looks like the markets are doing a little bit of a pullback. I'm watching that $113,000 level. We'll see if it breaks that and goes lower. If it does, don't be scared. Be prepared. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, trade safe. Use some risk management. And as always, peace, love, and profits. Take care of yourself. Do that. Later, guys. Here's Buck's favorite song, by the way.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done. We'll see you at the next one.
Know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude. Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?